YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We're gonna open this, but first, the other day, I was thinking, camera crew and I were thinking about undershirts that I wear like this. You guys have seen this. And why do the collars look bad? And so, unbeknownst to me, inside of the email that we check irregularly on our YouTube channel, there was an email from this company that wanted me to showcase their products. And I was like, are you kidding me? So they sent me a couple of these shirts and I thought, yeah, this is super gimmicky. It's gonna be garbagey stuff, but it's actually turned out to be super nice. And it's called Into the AM, and it's a California-based company. And they make plain tees and then they make graphic tees. And then they also sent this coat, which is, interestingly enough, what is that called? A pilot's coat or something like that?
No, it's like a bomber jacket.
Bomber jacket, there you go. And so we're gonna try both of them today, just so you guys can see what it looks like. This is my normal work attire when I'm at my day job, and when I get sweaty, the necks curl. And it's really frustrating because I burn through these things. Like how?
All the time.
All the time.
And as soon as they start curling, you don't wear them.
Yep.
They might as well throw them away.
They basically are just garbage at that point to me.
Yep.
So my hope is that we can go ahead and get some of these. They're a little bit more expensive than just your basic Fruit of the Loom or Hanes or whatever brand we've been able to get, because I usually wear a long size to help cover my muscular build. So
Is that what we're calling it?
Yes, the muscular build.
Well, you are tall. I mean.
But it helps to be tucked in too,
Yeah.
if you wear a tucked shirt. So anyway, we're gonna try this really quick. I'll put it on and then we'll come right back. Okay, so this is what the shirt looks like. This is a basic tee. They have printed tees too. I like basic tees. I'm not gonna be wearing anything with a bunch of print on it, but the people that like them are gonna love them because there's a million different choices. But as you can see, the cuts are tied around the arms, and then they come in close to the sides. So that's nice. The seams on the side, I've worn shirts like this before, and the seam is always sharp on the inside, and you can feel it. This one is soft on both sides, and it does make for a more tailored look. We'll have to wait and see exactly how they shrink down, but so far I'm liking it. And I should apologize, I have my lav mic back here, which is something we normally wouldn't do, so I'm probably really quiet right now, and that's just the way it is, so I can show you guys. I wanted you to see that this lays nice on the neck, which is important to me. I'm picky when it comes to t-shirts and stuff. And so what we'll do is we'll just throw this shirt on so you can kind of see how that goes with an undershirt. And I don't know if any of you guys do this, but with me, when I'm working, I get to sweaty or whatever. I'm in a heavy duty industrial plant and it's loud and it's hot and it's sweaty and it's gross. And my everyday, day-to-day, and I'm sure you guys are hearing that, I apologize. We're trying to give you guys a good look at this. This is gonna basically show how it looks as an undershirt.
Lays a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Than your other ones. Yeah.
So now it is a new shirt, so obviously it's going to, but the other thing that's nice is it's not long, so it doesn't stick out the end of the sleeve. So that's really good. And if you wear untucked, then you'll get a good fit. So that's the quick 10,000 foot view of this product line. It's basically, their whole thing is stay inspired, and they want to help creators to work into the late AM hours. That's what Into the AM stands for, which is quite interesting to me. But then I noticed that this tag is a sticker too, which is kind of cool. I thought that was neat. So I didn't realize it until I pulled the tag off.
Oh,
look at that.
yeah, it is.
That's kind of cool. It says stay inspired. So anyway, and then we'll throw this coat on real quick. This coat does have a pocket on the arm, and it has 4 pen pockets for all the fellow nerds on this channel. I'm sure there's at least a few of you. And again, I am not a fashionista, but I am picky about clothes.
Yes.
Meaning, if you were to investigate my closet, you would see the same thing 7 or 8 times, and then about 6 or 7 of those, and that's it. And then my nice clothes that I wear for funerals.
Maybe.
And then
when I
weddings,
make you.
if we can't come up with a good excuse. So I apologize, the mic is almost certainly hitting. So there you have it. It's a little bit warm in here for this, but the thing is a little bit more tailored than I would normally go for, but I like the way it looks. The camera crew likes the way it looks on me. So maybe when we go outside with this thing, you can see how it works, because it is gonna be chilly tonight. So without further ado, we're gonna basically unbox this thing. So Into the AM, check the links in the description below. we are going to have a generic link. And if you follow the link, then you'll get a discount, which is nice. I believe it's 10% for you guys if you want to buy something, which turns out to be a pretty good deal. And without further ado, here we go. So we're going to open this thing up. And I'm super excited about this one because this is one of these things I've been seeing forever. And my contact in China was like, oh no, we can't do that. We did that.
We're doing that.
Okay, so gotta be careful about the labels. Don't know what they say. It's all in Chinese. Oh yeah, baby, look at this.
That doesn't look like it's gonna fly very well.
It's not gonna fly very good. If it flies, then we're gonna be in the wrong type of video. Okay, so this is an electric lithium polymer? No, lithium, I don't know what it is. Lithium ion batteries. 48 volts, which seems a little strange to me because it doesn't seem like you could quite have 48 volts on that.
Maybe
But
they
evidently you do.
forgot a decimal point.
I've been seeing these things for a long time now from Banggood, and I'm just like, whatever, that is so too good to be true. And yet, maybe it isn't actually too good to be true. And that's what we're gonna put to rest right now. So it does come with a charger in this kit. You can get these kits with and without.
Oh.
So this is the chainsaw, okay? Looks like you can tension your blade here, and obviously you have to put a little bit together. Why it wouldn't be a Banggood product if you didn't have to. So in fact, we're gonna pause them and get some gloves on. Okay, so there's a charger that comes with it, and it does look like it's an AC charger for North America, which is good. Make sure when you click on the link to buy this, because it is so awesome, which will be in the video description below, then definitely make sure you're checking that is the North American plug, or if you need a plug for some other place on planet Earth. I have no idea what you need. But I'm assuming it's for North America if you're in North America. So that being said, it is an extremely thin cable, which is always
Comforting.
comforting. But like I said, my contact was like a little bit reluctant on this one, and I really, really wanted it because, as you can see, we have lots of trees. So here's an outlet. Look at this. Here's an outlet. Let's see if it catches on fire yet. I'm excited. Okay, so
There's
we got
a green light.
This is like the world's lightest adapter. It feels like
There's like nothing
there's
in
like
it.
nothing in there. It's just got like an LED in there. I mean, it's definitely got power. It says it's lithium ion, 45 degrees. Oh, so it says 0 to 45 degrees Celsius. This is where it charges.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Oh, it's red. The light went red.
it went red. Okay, so that means it's charging. Okay, cool.
Only one battery.
Well, you can get these kits with multiple different types of batteries. So there is the important business. 1/4, 4-inch, 28 teeth per foot or whatever. I don't know if that's 28 total teeth, or it might be 28 degrees pitch. So I will look and see if I can find replacement chains for these. But look how dinky that cute little chain is. It's so pretty. It does look nice and sharp, which is cool.
It is really small.
It is small. We can't lose this though, because that's going to tell us the size we need. I would read the instructions, except that I'm sure they're totally useless. So maybe the camera crew could open the instructions and show you the hilarious jokes in there. Hey, but
We'll keep that.
I don't want to miss putting it together.
Oh.
So here's the bar, extremely small. Of course, that's normal. It doesn't have a bearing up front, see? So this just slides in there. That's pretty cool. Nice and simple. Okay. So once you kind of get that slid on there, does it actually drop all the way down? That's weird.
Looks like it should.
It looks like it's supposed to. I just think that this one's pinched a little bit. See that, how it's pinched? I know how to fix that. I've had this happen before from cutting trees down, many of them. So if you have a flat-bladed screwdriver and you run into this situation, you see how this bar, it narrows back here? All you have to do is just open that up a little teeny bit, like this, and that'll make it so that it fits. Okay? I don't know if I got enough on there, but we'll see. And if you weren't supposed to do that, then I'll pinch it with pliers. And then of course we have to use the provided tools. I am not real excited about this bottle. That looks like a lubrication bottle, so that's probably not great. Then there's a safety guard that's supposed to keep you safe somehow. I don't know exactly what
It
direction.
goes upright,
It goes like which direction? Okay, so this is the direction we're facing. So that's supposed to go like this. Okay, so you take the provided Chinese screwdriver, which actually feels like it's decent quality. It's very light, but it's working fine. And then I had one of my subscribers, or one of my regulars, taught me something the other day. And his thing, see, this is keyed, so it only goes in one way, okay? He said that there's something about a Japanese style Phillips versus an American or some other variety of Phillips.
Really?
Yeah, it's like JIP or something like this. Well, anyway, that's why sometimes when you get the Chinese screws, they don't match up because they're using that JIP style.
Oh.
Okay, so that's your little, you know, it would normally be like a brake on a real chainsaw, but this isn't a real chainsaw. And the idea is you don't want to cut your own hand off, preferably.
I'm not sure that guard's going to help with that.
You know what? That guard is just stopping debris from shooting your face.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's all it is. So this nut comes off. So if you haven't ever worked with a real chainsaw, you might want to think about doing a little bit of safety investigation. Okay, cool. There's the main pinion, or whatever that is, the drive. Then this is how you tension. That's how you tension your chain. So that's pretty cool. And it looks like, see how this moves in and out? That's going to tension it to hold the actual chain on. And the bar, of course. So that moves it in and out. And then the nut actually provides, it's going to put pressure on this. And then that's going to bite this whole mechanism. So, again, like I said, you see this here? This little plastic thing? Doesn't look like it's supposed to be pooped out like that. See this?
Is this supposed to be in?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in there all the way. So I'm just going to twist this a little bit. See, and that's the trouble you run into with some of these Chinese products is that you never know exactly what you're going to get. That's why you watch stuff on Brian Phillips RC about chainsaws and tractors. Hey.
And there are no, like, actual assembly instructions?
No, I figured they'd
in the instructions.
So I'm pushing down on this with my screwdriver so I can just make that clear. And then once I get that satisfactory, you see it won't slide down onto this because of that thing. So I'm just going to go the alternative plan, which is we're just going to take, oh, that's aluminum. That's aluminum, see? That's aluminum.
Oh.
So you see, I'm trying to cut aluminum with the utility knife. That's probably not going to work very good. So, not sure if that's going to go on there or not. Wonder if I can take a bigger screwdriver. But you can see how they pinch that together. And this is basically going to prevent it from fitting on here. So either the plastic needs to be modified or that needs to be straightened up. So we'll try a bigger screwdriver first. So a bigger screwdriver or pliers. I mean, most of you guys have this stuff in your kitchen drawers, I'm sure. Because that's what everybody does. Well, I don't know if everybody does it, but I do it that way. I don't want to go searching for tools, so I just have them in multiple spots. Okay, so you see this? See how I'm pushing hard? And it's not wanting to move, like, at all. Not even a little bit. Okay. I'm going to try these ones, see if it'll move for me at all. And it's not moving at all. That's always good. I'm going to try this way. See, and the thing is, I want to keep this from compressing there and catastrophically breaking. Yeah, I'm not feeling it move, really. Let's see if I can get it to force on there.
So where is it biting?
That's supposed to go right here. Like right there. And then as you tighten or loosen this screw here, then it's going to move it in or out to put tension on the blade. I suppose it's not impossible, but that's intentional. I would say it's mostly impossible. So let's try it anyway. Okay, so those go onto the start looking thing. Okay, like this. It's pretty simple once if you've ever used a real chainsaw, you'll know exactly what you're doing because it's the same exact setup. Sorry, you're gonna have to go over my shoulder if you want to see that better, because I have to hold it upright for gravity. Okay, so as I tighten or loosen this, that's going to put pressure on it, or it's going to relieve pressure. Like as I tighten, it's tightening, it's moving it out like this, and so it's putting pressure on everything. But as you can see, because of the nature of this little piece right here that's protruded out, I can't quite get it to line on there. So my hope is we can, actually, you know, I wonder if we could cut that with, I wonder if we could cut it with a file. I'm sure we could cut it with a file. I might need to use a Dremel, so we'll pause it and I'll try that real quick. Okay, so we're gonna try this. Okay, so you see I'm taking that material down. I'm gonna go a little bit more. Okay, so now that that's flat, and see this part really probably should be taken off as well, because that should not be protruding out. It's quite hot too. So camera crew, if you want to come over my right shoulder so you don't get sprayed with the debris. It's really easy to modify, but again, one of those things where I don't want to have to modify it. It's brand new. Okay, so we've got that trimmed down, so it's pretty close. I got a little bit of a touch up here. Okay, so there you have it. That's the way that should look. Okay, that's really toasty now. Okay, yeah, so we'll be right back upstairs in a second. Okay, so now that that's trimmed, this is basically just going to drop on here, and then it's allowed to move forward and backward. This is probably the way yours is going to arrive. And so you can slide this forward or backward. It's squishing my thumb right now. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's where the screw is. So it's a little bit awkward to get to, but it's manageable. And then obviously the blades, they want to be cutting this way. Okay, and it says it's got an arrow there. See, it shows kind of a symbol of the blade. Mm-hmm. Or the chain. So we'll just see if we can walk this on here. I gotta get some pressure off of it. I'm trying to use the provided tools with the exception of what we had to do downstairs to get that to work. Okay, so this should be, just trying to get that thing to slip on there. Okay, so that's on there now. Obviously do this with the battery out for safety. Safety first, especially with chainsaws. Okay. And that is tightening on. Yep, it's tightening on as I go. See how it's tightening the chain as we go? Mm-hmm. The bar's slipping forward. And you can get that tension a little bit. I probably have that just a hair too tight, actually. You get that too tight and it'll just wear out it'll just stretch out the chain almost right away. Okay, so that's probably about right. Maybe actually a little bit still needs to loosen. Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't change it a lot that last step, that's for sure. Okay, so then this fits on there, and then this nut goes down, and then that torques everything together. Okay, it does come with a provided tool, which is nice that it has a provided tool, which is similar to what you would get on a regular chainsaw. The trouble is, I don't see any storage place for this, and that's a bummer, because there's nothing worse than having a chainsaw without storage for the essential tools. So, because you'll be using this, and you'll need to tension this periodically while you're using it, okay? And yes, you can tension or loosen it while it's torqued down, but you'll notice what happens is, since this is biting here, it's not gonna really adjust until you then loosen this. See, watch. See, when you loosen this, then that will be allowed to come out, okay? And slip out or in, whichever direction you went. I like that tension better, okay? There's their warning, there's a warning there. It's black on black, with a black glove pointed at it.
Don't cut your fingers off.
Don't cut your fingers off.
It's like even smaller than I was envisioning it to be. The chainsaw. A chainsaw.
Okay, so here we go. All right, so time for some safety glasses, and we're gonna try this thing out right now. Okay, so we got the Into the AM coat on, and then we've got the shirt underneath, so we'll see how that works. The mic is out now. And then the awesome mini 48-volt chainsaw that's not lubricating, self-lubricating.
Oh,
so
good.
we're just gonna do it dry today, just so you guys know. So these are the bushes that we have all the way up and down our fence line here, okay? So they look like no problem until you hit them with a plane, and then there's a problem. So let's start small. Just so you guys know, we love trees. We have literally hundreds of thousands of trees on our property.
Yes.
We have planted trees, and we will plant hundreds of them more.
Yes.
So this tree's gonna die right now. Oh yeah, buddy. Would you look at that? We got one tree down, 475 to go. Okay, so be very careful. Don't get that thing loaded. All right, where else? What are we gonna do now? We've already done a 1/4 inch. Let's go up a size. Ooh, that one's gotta die too. These ones are gonna totally be plane killers.
Yeah.
I would love these trees, except that they're right in my line of fire with the planes. So one thing I'm really noticing is it's very easy to manipulate. It's very easy to control. It's very easy to talk and hear yourself think. It's not super loud like many other chainsaws that I've used in the past. Granted, this is a lot less powerful. It's getting the job done. You could use loppers to do the same thing, and we would normally do that. That bush is gonna grow up too. Let's kill this one.
That one right there.
Yeah, it's gonna be right in the line of fire. Okay, so it's doing a good job with the small ones. And the thing that's nice is it's really quick, it's really easy, and then you're just left with a handful of brush, no big deal. Ooh. You know what I'm targeting now?
Which one?
Well, let's go down here and look. Guys, it's spring in Iowa, okay? This tree, I really like this tree. But the thing is, look how tall it is, and look what's right above it. Look what's right above it.
The power line for the people that can't.
The power lines are about, I would say, 10 feet above this tree. So I could either prune this tree or I could cut this tree down. And I guarantee you if I cut this down, it's gonna grow back anyway.
Yep.
Just because these trees are like impervious to death. They will
Yep.
never die. However, if I grow this side, it might survive. So let's just do this. This is a pretty big tree. That is pretty amazing, actually. That is really impressive. Timber! That wasn't too bad.
When do I get one?
Why, do you want one?
Yeah?
Which one do you want cut?
No.
Oh, one of
I
these?
want one of those. For vines. For the,
Okay,
I can't
so
call them.
I want you to just notice something here, folks. Do you see how it's loosened?
Yes.
It's loosened. Okay, so that's one thing you'll want to watch for. So I think ideally you would have the screwdriver in your pocket. But let's just see if we're gonna cut. Let's cut one more and just see what it does.
Okay.
Boy, that works like surprisingly awesome. Like these aren't super small, and yes, there is a power line above me, so I should probably be a little bit careful. And as you can see, I've got all the appropriate safety gears on, like chaps. Like I can't work chaps with the camera crew because she gets too excited. So anyway, sorry, Into the AM. If you need to send some chaps.
Wait, hold on. I have to go around your
around my pile? Now, here's the thing. That has killed one plane. This one here is not quite as tall, but it is also right above. Yeah, there's lots of dead animals around here.
Lots of fun things.
Yeah, we found lots of things.
Well,
that looks like a shoulder, like a...
Probably a deer, don't you suppose?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can tell how many times this tree has grown back because of how many little shoots there already are.
Let's cut the big one and see what happens. Let's just do this. Let's do it for the people on YouTube. That is impressively easy to do. That is pretty impressive. And guys, listen, you can hear yourself think, okay? Yeah. One of my buddies, Esteban, he's had a firework go off next to his ear when he was young. And so he has really bad tinnitus. And so if I do anything loud, which is like talking, he will run out of the room and to protect himself, because for 2 or 3 weeks it'll ring.
Yeah.
And I mean, that might be an extreme example, but it is a reality. Wow, look at that vine. We should get that vine. Look at this.
Well, but wait.
That's a vine, hon.
That's a tree.
That's not a tree. Look at it. That's totally a vine.
But that's that great blueberry something or other.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave that one.
We can cut the other vines.
Let me get the rest of this giant one here.
That's what I'm saying. I want one.
Okay, timber. So now that we've seen that it'll cut something small, they show this thing cutting, you know, like a 100-foot tall tree, which just sounds like total BS to me. But after seeing it work and seeing how much it's loosened up so far, I'm actually not really surprised. I mean, I'm surprised how well it's working, but I am actually kind of thinking maybe it will cut something big. Let's find something big, even if it's a fake tree, just so we can show them.
It says it's good for pruning municipal gardens. I think
Municipal? Is this a municipal garden?
We missed the
Good
boat.
lordy lord.
Or bamboo.
Look at all these bumps here.
I know.
I wonder if we have some moles maybe. That's a hilarious joke. Hey, let's cut that tree. That one that you love that's breaking. Come on, let's look at it. It's dying.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm not gonna cut it right now, but just look, it's gonna fall and hit the gas tank. That could make for a really interesting YouTube video. But if you'll notice, look at this, guys. It's gonna die. That tree is gonna die. It will, in fact. Maybe we can cut this, because it's gonna die.
Today is not the day for my favorite tree to be cut down.
Well, I know. We'll keep your favorite part of the tree, and then we'll just cut that.
You can't cut that with that chainsaw.
You wanna bet?
No!
Hey, so one thing to keep in mind is that even though this thing is all powerful, you don't want to get killed by the branch, so be careful.
I know, I'm trying to figure out. I'm okay over here.
This is 48 deadly volts.
I still think they forgot a decimal point.
Huh?
I think they forgot a decimal point.
I think they may have forgotten a decimal point too. The other thing too I'm noticing is that as this loosens, I'm concerned that maybe I'm tearing things up. So we're gonna pause and get a screwdriver and come right back. Okay, so I got the cheapest crescent wrench that I have in the garage and some crappy Phillips screwdriver. When I was working on this, I noticed that it's quite easy to bump the trigger whilst tightening this. So it may be worth the extra 3 seconds to take the battery out for safety reasons. And what I've found is every time that you have to tighten this, you will probably have to, see, I've got that way too tight now. You're gonna have to loosen that nut, okay? Which is putting pressure on this whole mechanism, okay? And you can idle it by hand. I can tell it's not getting super hot, which is nice. That's a good sign. But what I can tell you is that this thing is going to destroy itself over time, especially the way I use tools.
Am I going to be able to use it?
Yeah. Do you want to finish cutting that giant branch?
No.
Why?
Because
it's so easy. Like
cutting.
There's no kickback. It's quiet. It's clean. It doesn't get stuff all over. Look at this. Into the AM outfit that's totally clean still. And by the way, you know what's nice about this outfit? It's got this inner thing that goes under. And one of the things I noticed when I'm using the chainsaw is that wood chips get all over up my business. And it's really annoying. Okay, so you ready?
Yep.
Are you sure you don't want to cut this?
I'm not cutting down my favorite tree.
I'm just the one branch. Why don't you give them a super up close shot from over here so you're safe. So you remember how they showed this on the online pictures? And I'm like, this thing is never gonna cut a big branch. Do they realize how big this is? Show them how big this is.
Oh, the tree branch?
Like, look, it goes way out to here, guys.
Yeah,
it goes to here.
Follows
this is the end of the branch here. You
all
see
the
how
way
far
up
I am?
and over. Yeah.
It's over here. And that's the small side. The big side's on the other side. So
This
it's
is
gonna
the
be
big
lopsided after I do this.
Where I want to put a swing for our children.
We have trimmed a lot of trees to clean up this area.
Yeah.
The noise is a little disconcerting, you know?
A little bit.
But it's not that loud. we can still talk. Usually I'm like screaming if I have the chainsaw going.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing too is full disclosure. I charge this for about like 5 minutes and it probably needs to charge for like an hour.
Right.
So the other thing too is I noticed that when you're cutting this way, since the motor is over here, it does take up a little bit of real estate. And so when you're cutting on this side and you're cutting this way, it's easy. But when you need to back cut, it's quite hard. So you see, and I can't come in like this because then it's going to drive the blade out, okay? So I can come in like this, but then I can't get the motor in at that angle.
Right.
So that's one thing that's nice about having a longer, like an 18-inch blade on a big chainsaw. But I mean, let's be honest, guys, this is a pretty big thing to cut off.
Yeah.
And that noise does sound bad, but it's not, it's just, I think it's just the way the mechanism works. So this isn't going to kick back. So I think we're safe to be here. And I've got a tree that's protecting me here.
And for the people that were wondering, this little guy right here is one of the 100 trees that we planted last year.
And that's a red oak, right?
It's an oak of some sort, probably a red oak. When we bought this property, the brush line that you can see behind Brian, there's another little pink flag, which means there's another little tree right there. You could not walk from here to the creek. It was completely covered in thorny, horrific overgrowth.
We have a nice name for him, but we can't say it on this channel.
We cannot.
It's too family friendly.
Yes.
The name is not.
But now we have actual grass. Whoops. And we've gotten rid of some of the like parasite kind of trees that take away from these big nice trees that we have.
Which are called honeysuckle.
Well, yeah, we've gotten rid of a ton of honeysuckle.
We had the Department of Natural Resources out.
Yes.
To tell us what to do.
They told us to do it.
They asked us to do it.
Yes.
In fact, I think they said they would pay us to do it. I'm still waiting for the money.
We should, yeah, check on that.
Or not, so we aren't disappointed. So I'm not seeing anything that's actually hitting. So I think it must just be the noise.
Do you suppose it's the batteries just getting low?
Oh, well, I mean, I know that the battery is getting low, but everything seems to be in pretty good shape. The teeth are still cutting well. I think what's going on here is we just lost power because, but the noise is what I'm concerning myself with right at the moment. You'll notice I have the battery in my left hand.
Yes.
That's squished away from, I think just for safety's sake, it'd be a good idea to maybe just keep that out.
Because there isn't really like a power switch. Like it's just the battery.
Not that I found. The power switches take the battery out.
It's probably black on black.
It is. Yep, it's labeled super clear. Yep, I think what's happening is it's just dead. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause it and come right back.
Okay, I was just walking along here. I'm carrying these branches over to our burn pile. And you can see there's a few little flags dotted in here too from what we planted last year. We planted 100 trees. We planted red oak, pin oak, I think was the other kind of oak we planted, river birch, and then we planted 25 elderberry bushes. So we've kind of interspersed those all in here to kind of be in spots where some of our bigger trees, in case we would lose a bigger tree, then we have those ready to go. So this is the area that we worked a lot last year. You can see along the creek bank, there's a little bunch of little pink flags from the river birch that we planted down there. So this is just our little creek area. If you haven't seen very much of it, we actually haven't seen it much this spring. Just kind of runs through here. There's a bridge. This is a little spot where our kids can play because they can walk right down there along the edge and do whatever it is that they're doing. So I love this part of our property, and it's super nice now that we can actually get down here and walk and be in the trees and be in the shade. So I'm going to finish dragging these over to the burn pile, and he was going to charge that little chainsaw, and we can see if we can finish up that last limb that he was working on.
Okay, so while I was in there charging this for 3 minutes, I checked it with my Bosch batteries, and they do run it because they're 18-volt batteries, but they don't slide all the way in. They go about that far and they run. So that's a big bummer. Secondly, this is an 18-volt battery right now. It goes to 21 volts nominally, which is listed in the manual, but I'm not sure why it says 48 volts F. I think what they're saying is like, it's the same as 48 volts. I don't know. Who knows what they were thinking that day. I don't care because it works good. So I'm just happy that it works. And I charge it for another like 3 minutes. Okay, so I think what's happening there is a thermal overload and the battery's low. Because you see it stopped totally.
Oh.
Because as soon as I break the circuit and put it back in, then it's gonna still be ticked off at me. See, there it goes. I mean, this thing is actually pretty awesome. Guys, I'm super bummed we didn't get this thing cut. We're gonna have to probably come back out here and cut this. Let's trim this.
But.
See, now it's like dead.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, I thought this thing was gonna be like a humongous, embarrassing flop. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's actually pretty awesome. So
I'm like legitimately excited about it.
Yeah.
For like vines and stuff.
The camera crew loves helping me out here. She's like, that's what she lives for. She thinks about like, boy, I can't wait till the next time I get to go out and help Brian clear stuff.
Said the camera crew, never.
She hates it.
But if I get my own little mini chainsaw.
Well, and plus
maybe
it's electric, which is nice because then you can leave it off. You can leave it sit there until you're ready to cut something. Or you could, my concern is if you were to hang this like on a lanyard, you could bump the button.
Yeah.
Whereas with a big chainsaw, you're gonna have it running and it's less likely you're gonna hit the button. So there are some legitimate safety concerns that you wanna be aware of. Obviously, this isn't a kid's toy. This is a legit tool and it will legitimately hurt you badly. So you need to be very careful with it. The other thing too is getting a hold of the chains. That's the one thing I'm a little bit concerned about, to be honest, or if you need to replace the bar. But let's get real. This thing is pretty inexpensive. Yeah. And yes, you can ship it, which is nice. Whereas chainsaws, it's a lot harder to ship chainsaws. I don't know why that is. Probably from the gas reservoirs and then the oil reservoirs. I have not seen an oil reservoir and it's not completely impossible that there is an oil reservoir that I just literally, I don't think I missed one. But typically on a chainsaw, there's gonna be a pickup that picks up oil and it lubricates the chain as it's running. So that's the other thing is you'll wanna keep a close eye on these things and just make sure they're not getting too hot. But again, it's just kind of the same thing. You're gonna have a lot less duty cycles, a lot less revolutions, and a lot less cuts on this thing between charges and cool down, as opposed to a gas powered chainsaw that's gonna be on and you know, putting a tremendous amount of force. So I feel like it's just scaled down enough so that you can get away with it. I wanna see if I can get this one last branch. It just seems like it's really dead. It doesn't wanna go now. So that's the other thing too, is when you have a lithium ion battery and it gets low, they don't run. So don't really expect them to run. They'll run dead. So that's because they are low voltage circuit protected so that it doesn't destroy its own battery. So that's actually a good thing too. It's gonna be annoying when you're out clearing something and you've got one little half cut left, but let's show the people at home real quick just how much you can see all the way through that tree.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
were getting pretty darn close.
So if you show them right here, you can see through. Go a little bit more. There you go. You had it.
Yep, there you can see the daylight.
See?
Yep.
So it's not like a small thing, guys. We've got the thing cut.
Yeah.
I think if anything, you're gonna be limited by the blade depth.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, that's generally gonna be true on most cutting devices, but let's get real. The cutting device here, the guard actually does take up a little bit of depth too, because you see this mounting point here, that does take up a little extra depth. So as you're cutting, you kind of run into the mount point. So just a couple things to consider. I am actually super happy with this tool. Didn't know what to expect. Obviously, 48 volts is not true. So I don't know that, I never know, because the Chinese are really good about this. They'll say things that seem to be obviously deceptive, but then they have some stupid excuse for it, like, oh no, that's not what we meant. And it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they meant. But you know, like, it's equivalent to 48 volts. There are other choices in this brand and variety, and I believe that they mimic different battery styles. So when you follow the link to buy your own, definitely be checking that out so that you know what you're getting. Make sure you get the American or European plug or whatever they're offering that day, and then make sure you get the number of batteries you want. I'm gonna recommend that you get the 3 battery pack because it's not that much more. In fact, I thought I was getting the 3 battery pack. I guess I got the 1 battery pack. And then here in the near future, we're gonna try to do the loppers too. They have a power lopper, which I'm super excited about, because having that big handles like this, what we get in these tight spots where you literally don't have room to get the lopper handles.
Yeah.
And so with that, you can get in there and just do your thing, you know?
Yep.
Ah, dang it, just not enough juice. when it gets dead, it's gonna be low on power. So anyway, without further ado, guys, into the AM close. So far, how's the neck look?
Looks good.
Is it still flat?
I really like the shirts.
I've been happy with the way they fit. I've been wearing one with print in the evenings just to see how it feels. And it fits nice, it's comfortable, it doesn't ride up at all, and it's long enough to get over my belly, the muscular part of my frame. And then also it looks good on the arms, and it's got a narrower cut, which is nice.
So, like, my side of the sales pitch is I've been buying you clothes for like almost 20 years, and if you don't like something, you aren't gonna wear it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've worn it 2 days already is
I know. It's like a miracle.
It
I
is
realize.
really, truly.
But the thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when we have relationships with some of these vendors that we work with, we aren't just gonna bring you stuff that we hate, unless it's a review like this and we expect it to be like a hilarious flop, and then it turns out to be really awesome. We've had a few Banggood items like that, but generally speaking, we get what we think we're gonna like, and then we bring it to you in good faith that it's gonna be good. These shirts, the Into the AM, I think that they're a good company. I think they'd be worth doing some, business with. You might want to give them a try. They've got like a t-shirt of the month thing. I'm not going to do that ever. That's just not my style. But the thing is, you might be into that sort of thing because you don't like picking clothes like me. For me, I want plain tees, and I'm going to have like 7 of the same one. And you're never going to know that I'm wearing another one. And I'm going to wear them once and throw them in the dirty clothes, and I'm going to wear them once and throw it in the dirty clothes, and that's the way it's going to be. So, and I'm gonna do that for like the next 20 years. And I'll wear the exact same thing until they discontinue it. And I can't buy the ones that somebody has like in some apparel shop, Goodwill from 14 years ago. Then I will move on to the next item. So that's just the way I am.
40 years.
40 years. Unless they send me a coat that works good for keeping chips out of my shirt, which, to be perfectly honest, this is not a full-size chainsaw, so it may not work as good with a full-size chainsaw, but that has been one of my big gripes with my other coats. And by the way, it is pretty chilly out here, but I'm still sweating because I've been running back and forth to the house.
Yeah, it is cool.
It's supposed to be 32 degrees tonight.
Ugh.
I know, disgusting, right?
Kids are so disappointed.
Yeah, but it's gonna be nice tomorrow, be in the 50s. So anyway, guys, definitely check the link in the description. I'm super impressed with this thing. It's probably not gonna replace, an 18-inch or a 16-inch bar, gas-powered chainsaw for cutting down real big trees. But the thing is, to be honest, if you're in town and you've got little trees like this is your tree in the yard, I could cut that tree down. I'm not cutting that tree down. I want that tree. I love that tree.
Yep.
But you're not gonna come over here and cut a tree like this down.
No.
You're just never gonna do it. You can't hardly get through the bark. Look how big that is. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to bring it the no BS way here. This is gonna be great for anything that's under the size. You can get double the length of the reach here. So you're going to be able to get, like a 6 or 7 inch tree in the right environment, as long as you're safe, right?
And it's a good accessory. So like when we're out working,
It's in
Brian's
support.
cutting down big, huge trees, and the kids and I are clearing the little underbrush.
Right.
So for me to go through and zip through the thorny vines,
Yeah.
that's exactly, I don't need an 18-inch chainsaw. I can't.
Yeah. It wears you out too.
Yeah.
It really does. And not only that, but you burn through a lot of fuel. With the batteries, the thing I'm super excited about is you can charge a few of these, stick them in a pocket, and then you just work until you're done, until you're out of batteries. Then you put it in the tool. You put it in your little trailer or whatever, and you're done. So I'm really happy with it. Okay, anything else, camera crew?
I think that's it. They can check the link for the chainsaw.
Link for the chainsaw
Into the
and Into the AM. We'll have those up at the top. And then the regular stuff will be down below. Into the AM, we'll have a link in our master links next to Horizon Hobbies and the Banggoods and the Amazon's, Titans, Bitco Hobby, Magic Home. Those are our regular core sponsorship, if you want to call it. I don't even call them sponsors because we just review products that they happen to sell. But the thing is, they're not paying us to do this. But if you buy, they'll give us a small commission, just like if you bought this, just like if you bought any of the airplanes. That's just the way we help fund our channel. So, and then of course, ad revenue on YouTube. Everybody knows that if you have enough people watch a video, which I'm guessing on this one, it's probably not going to be a lot, like 50 cents over the next 10 years.
Great.
But that's okay. The kids don't need college. Okay.
They'll
It's all right.
buy them a box of macaroni and
That's
cheese.
right. Macaroni and cheese. Well, maybe the milk.
Or noodles.
The milk. Like the
No,
was it
milk?
like a 1 cup?
No. Yeah.
Okay, never
well,
mind.
maybe, yeah.
How about the stick of butter?
No, not that either.
So if you guys are thinking you're going to help support us by buying these items, you will. And so we really do appreciate it. And same thing with Into the AM. Plus, you get a discount when you go to the store and you follow the link. You'll get your discount, and we'll have that stuff in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. We have so much coming. We actually, wow, there's some pretty big, huge things coming next week. And I'm super excited to share them with you. But I can't share them with you yet because they're not released yet. And you guys have been asking for it for years, plural. It's gonna be good. Come back for more. Okay, YouTube, so it's about 8:30. The green light just came on. So we just wanted to quickly get back outside so we can show you what this looks like when it's got a full charge. And then also I wanna show you the voltage rating right now. So we've got the world's crappiest, I think almost free. Actually, this may have been free.
Of course.
So we're gonna stick that in there. I think that was a free Harbor Freight. It's just, hold on. Okay, so the voltage right now on this battery is 20.8 volts. So they said that 21 volts was fully charged. And so the other thing too is just to see what the voltage is on this. Looks like the inside is the positive lead on the drum connector and the outside is the negative. So we're at 22.5 volts on this connector when it's plugged in. So the inside pin is positive and the outside of the drum is negative. As you can see, it is labeled here, Lithium Ion Charger. And it says the input voltage is 60 through 240 volts at 1 amp max. And then it says the output voltage is, it's really hard to read, 21 volts at 1 amps DC. So also, while I was kind of getting the video ready, I looked up, this is supposed to be like 48 volts of force. Like it's some like equivalent measurement. I think they may legitimately use that as some sort of an equivalency, okay? So I don't recognize it. The other thing too is I did try Bosch batteries. I don't know if I mentioned that previously. The Bosch batteries, they go in about this far. Unfortunately, the contact point for my Bosch batteries is down here. So it's the same shape in the rails, but it doesn't reach right. So yes, I can actually run this on the Bosch, but it stops about there. And then you'd have to physically hold that while you're using it. It'd be pretty dangerous. It's already probably on the dangerous side. So this should be ready to go. We're gonna get the coat on and meet you outside in the cold and dark. So we were talking about the Into the AM stuff. I just wanted to show you, this does have an inside pocket too, which is nice. And then this pocket, it's kind of hard for me to reach because of the tailor. The cut is tight. And so once you've got it zipped on there, it stays pretty tight. This is gonna be a good windbreaker, but it's not super hot. And I appreciate that. But one thing I've noticed is that this lip, this overhang, does make it a little bit challenging to get the zipper started. It almost feels backward to me, which is weird. So, but it seems to be working okay. All right, we'll actually meet you in the dark this time.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna take this. Oh yeah, the power's back.
It's a little better.
Absolutely no problems. Okay, so now this is where we were cutting before when we kind of ran out of juice. I was also reading this is supposed to be like a dry, not like, it's not supposed to need lubrication, which I don't know. Personally, I'm not sure.
That seems okay.
And this just happens to be a good branch to do this with because it's all on the other side of the tree, so we're well protected. But obviously, in the dark, you wouldn't want to do this normally. Okay, so I need to kind of cut, I need to cut a back cut so you can see right there.
Okay.
One thing that's really nice about this smaller chainsaw size is I feel like I can get out of the danger's way, because even if that tree fell, it would just whack my hand out of the way. Whereas if you're really in it with a chainsaw, you've got your hand up here and you've got a big long blade out in the middle. So I almost feel like this is safer in a lot of ways. Oh, see, I don't know if we are overheat right now or if we're like just actually out of power again, which would be really a bummer if it was. The battery's pretty warm. It's not like hot or anything. There it goes. You want to come over here so you can see if you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Actually, hold on. Let's try this. See, guys? We're cut way down in there now. Okay. See the breath?
Yeah. A little chilly.
So this is obviously on the very high end of what this tool can do. But so far, I'm pretty impressed. You want to shine down there and see if... Yeah, it's about ready to go.
Yeah.
I could probably push. There it goes.
Oh.
If I pushed, it would just fall off. I'm listening. See? It's opened up quite a bit now. There, it's about to go. There it goes. That's a big branch, guys.
Yes, it is.
Look at this. Come over here. So you see that, guys? That's no joke. So basically, right now I just got to get that last little bit cut. And like I said, this tree here, it's split down here. So I don't know if you guys can see, but what's going to happen is this tree will eventually die. And it's definitely one tree, but it's split here. And my guess is it's probably this whole side's going to die. And then hopefully we can keep this side if all goes to plan.
Yeah.
So at some point I'll have to prune this whole thing off, which is unfortunate because my wife really likes this tree. So I think in general this tool is going to definitely work better if you use it on smaller pieces. It's just going to be more effective. This is more of just like a proof of concept, and it just shows that you can do it. Not that it's not necessarily the best choice. So there you go. That's a huge branch, guys. And then look, here's it's not a bad cut. It's just I couldn't quite reach this. And it just doesn't struggle at all. It does a really nice job. And it's actually good because, like, look, I'm not covered in stuff.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is really nice. Plus, this coat actually works really nice for that because it doesn't stick to it, which is something I wasn't expecting. So happy with that. Went really smooth. The little branches, it makes a pretty clean cut. I think loppers would cut them cleaner than a chainsaw, but this chain is a lot smaller than, of course, what you'd find on a full-size chainsaw. And that makes a big difference. And then over here, if you want to just kind of look at this, so like if you were to limb this up, you could go in and limb it up. And of course, these ones are dinky. You just be careful you don't cut the hand. It's very effective. It's surprisingly well balanced. It's easy to hold in the hand, and it's just way more powerful than I thought it was going to be. And to be honest, the full charge, I feel like you reach a thermal overload or something with this thing. So I think that's what we've run into a couple of different times. You can see you can definitely limb up a tree really nice with this. See, there we go. It's kind of like it's warmed up maybe, and then it just decides it's not going to work. So I don't think the battery's dead though. I just think it has to cool back down for a second. So yeah, definitely it's surprisingly good. I think one thing I might try to do is figure out a way to use one of my lithium batteries from the airplanes, because this thing would be killer if it had a bigger battery. And to be perfectly honest with you, you can get it with more than one battery, and I have a link to the package deal. And by the way, this comes in either blue or black like this. So I don't know which one you're going to get, and you won't know either. You just order it, and then you get either the blue or the black.
Oh.
And then the batteries, I think they're all black. So really impressed. 21 volt battery. It's actually an 18 volt setup, but it's 21 volts when it's fully charged. So really happy with it. Are you going to be cutting firewood with this? No, not unless you're cutting very small firewood like this for a starter fire. But it'll do it. It will do it. It's just that you're going to take forever, because by the time you sit around and wait for it to cool off after making, say, a huge cut like this, then it's going to take long enough that you'll be frustrated with it, I think. But it definitely does the trick. So what more can I say? Check the link in the description below. Get one for yourself. Check out Into the AM. Help support those guys. I'm actually very comfortable in this, and it's probably 30.
It's
35.
pretty chilly. Yeah.
It's cold.
You can see your
my
breath.
So I'm staying warm, but I'm also working. So I would say, but I have good range of motion, and looks like my sleeves pulled up a little bit here, but it's a brand new coat, so I don't know if that'll be true after a while. It's got this kind of iridescent look to it, which is kind of cool. And one thing that caught my eye on Into the AM, they had a shirt that was white, bright white, when it was shined at. So it's a reflective, and it's I think it's gray otherwise.
It's a jacket, not a shirt. It's like a
jacket.
windbreaker pullover.
Yeah, and really cool. So if you guys are searching through the website, check that one out. But beyond that, we're gonna leave it at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Definitely buy one if you like it, and give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We do content like this on the minority of the cases. Usually we're doing radio controlled airplane, radio controlled aircraft, and then of course we do things that are surrounding the homestead, of course, when we built this property, and the runway and things like this, and how we take care of the property is definitely one of the things that we cover on our channel. But predominantly we cover the radio controlled aircraft, because that's just what we do. That's our passion. And of course, aircraft later if I have my way. Come back for more.